Hey boys and girls, Hollis and Ken here with another sort of off topic but on topic. And so there's going to be, so I sat down the other night with Clint Wade, the owner of, joint owner of Outlaw Outdoors with Stacy. And it was a fun conversation, and truthfully, I'm not typically too hip on sitting and watching two guys talk for a really long time, but we talked and I recorded for almost an hour, truthfully. And as I went back through that coverage thinking I could chop it up into a 15-minute segment, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into two pieces, and I'm going to post them right beside each other. So by the time this is posted up, you'll be able to go right there at the end of this video or right now and see part two to this. So part two is going to be conversations about tournaments and what's going on at Rayburn and what they did with Outlaw and how they built it, and a little bit talking about the Goofy Band video that we did the other day. Right. But this first part is a two-parter as well. It's going to be the delivery of the products to the food pantry. We had more money come in, so we took another load to food pantry. And a really, really interesting story. By the way, I flipped this. This was actually at the end of the conversation with Clint, but I found this so interesting I had to stick this in here. About when Stacy caught the Lone Star Lunker. That would be a lunker right there. Big, that's a 20-pounder right there. When she caught that big fish at Rayburn. And it dovetails in beautifully with that video right there. And I think it's worth watching and listening to. So check this one out. If you want to hear more about this conversation, it gets goofier the longer it goes. Stick around and watch part two as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. You made a comment to me. Stacy caught a ShareLunker a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And you made a comment to me about my video about tracking fish.
I watched every minute of it.
Tell me the story.
So, the weekend before Stacy caught the ShareLunker, this would have been in 2018, March of 2018. So this was back in March of 2018 when she caught the ShareLunker.
How big was it?
1306.
Okay.
And the weekend prior, we had caught 37 pounds in the TTZ tournament. And at the time, 37 pounds was a big deal. It's kind of just something you just kind of brush off now after the 40 and 49 pound stringers we've had this year. Yeah, it would have been third place that day. But that Saturday we caught those fish, and we all know how Rayburn is. You get watched a little bit. Well, my dad, he fishes a bunch, and he's got a champion with, at the time, did not have an Ultrex. And I had been telling him for months, Dad, you need an Ultrex. So I bought him an Ultrex, and the day after we caught the big stringer, he come up to our place here in Zavala, and we had to convert him over from a 24 volt to a 36 volt and install his Ultrex. And I told him, I said, you know, we're probably going to be looked at a little bit this coming weekend, and I also want to calibrate your GPS puck thing on your Ultrex. And I said, I want to make sure all your batteries are hooked up right. I said, why don't we just fish out of your boat this next weekend? We had a little tournament here out of the Castle Boykin Pavilion. And Dad said, hey, that's fine. So fast forward to the next Saturday after we caught the 37 pounds, and we get to the spot we're going to fish, and I told Stacy, I said, you know,
where's that spot?
I told Stacy, I said, you know, this is Dad's boat. I don't know how, you see, I'm just ignoring that, right? Yeah. We don't know how strong the battery is that these graphs are hooked to. So let's turn them off. We know what's here. We fish it a lot. Let's turn them off so we don't burn the batteries. And we turned the graphs off. And I had actually forgotten completely about it. And then Stacy watched your video before I did, and she brought that up, that we had the graphs off the day she caught the ShareLunker.
So wait a minute, how many 13-pounders have y'all caught?
Y'all have caught none. Stacy has caught one.
And how many days have you fished in the last 10 years?
Oh my gosh. I would be willing to bet 52 weeks a year, we probably fish 110 days a year.
So that's 1,000 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how many of those 1,000 days have you had your graphs turned off?
One. And you want to ask me a dumber question?
Have you turned them off since?
No.
I'm
embarrassed to sit here and say that, Ken.
No, dude, I get it. And so I had guys in the comments say, I idle over, and I'm not picking on you guys. Look, we've all got our own opinions, but he said, you know, I idle over a spot, turn around through, and they're called a 7 and a 10 pounder.
But how many were there?
That's a great question.
He caught the one Tardo that didn't run off when 250 horsepower motor come over his head.
You gotta wonder. I mean,
and we can discuss this, and there's no right answer.
Unless one of us goes down there with scuba gear on
and watch the fish flush out.
But as I said in that video, everything I know are about the 0.1% of the fish in an area I catch.
Sure.
Right? John knew exactly what that fish did all the time. And by the way, as you and I talked earlier outside, I cannot wait to see Todd Driscoll's study. I reached out, by the way, and asked Todd. So they're tracking bass on Toledo Bend with radio transmitters. And I said, hey, give me the scoop. And he goes, I'm going to make you wait a month. But he said, it's really interesting. And he said, and we're learning more every day. They've already had a fish travel a couple of miles. Now, your questions were, where did they tag it, or where did they implant it, where did they catch it?
What time of the year?
Where did they release it? Yeah, was it on a spawning flat and then went back deep?
Right.
I don't know the answers to any of that, but we will. And I think...
You know, and the good thing, Todd Driscoll is not only a very accomplished and proven biologist, he's a fisherman.
He is. So he's got the same curiosity all of us do,
For sure.
right? Because he wants to know, where do you go catch those
It's
fish?
an awesome study. And kudos to Todd for ever since I've known
and the whole team down there, yeah.
Oh, no doubt, the whole team. And I mean, everybody gives credit to Todd, and he's got a whole staff and team behind him. But kudos to him for putting as much effort as he does into, you know, the industry of bass fishing.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So anyway. Hey guys, Ken Smith. I'm not sure I'm going to get an off-topic video up this week, but I wanted to show you all a little follow-up to that video right there, or over there. I think it's over here. From a couple of weeks ago, we did the Zavala food pantry thing, and we had several folks reach out, men and women, afterwards and say, hey, we want to help. So we collected about another $325, and this is going to the food pantry in the morning. What JP told us was they wanted ramen noodles. We got a bunch of ramen noodles, peanut butter, Vienna sausages, and of course that milk that doesn't have to be refrigerated. So thanks to all y'all once again for helping us do this. And I've really not given a shout out to anybody because I haven't asked permission of whether I can talk about you on camera, but I want to just say a shout out to Jeff with a G, as we called my buddy. I grew up with a kid whose name was spelled Geofl. Not only did he want to make a contribution, he did some research. Check this out, what he's done. If you guys remember, we needed toothbrushes. That is 3 boxes full of toothbrushes. There's 300 or 400 toothbrushes in there, he told me. And not only did he do that, we needed hygiene. He got, again, 300 or 400 bottles. He went out and found them on his own, ordered them, shipped them here to the house in Zavala. So they're going over there tomorrow. That is just awesome. I got the best viewers in the world. I really do. All I did was mention this, and you guys, the money just rolled in, and all this cool stuff. So thank you so much. I'll shoot a short video when we get this over to the pantry in the morning. But we got another really good haul. So we're helping out. You guys are helping out. We're just facilitating. So thanks for doing that. Well, good morning. In the wife's little Infiniti, we're riding up to the Zavala food pantry to drop off all the stuff that you guys were so kind to donate and or donate money for me to make another Walmart run. So I'm going to show y'all what the food pantry looks like right here as we roll up to it. So we're on the highway between Huntington and Zavala, and there you go. And all those trucks you see parked out front, those are all volunteers. It's just it's a very cool place. They built this all with volunteer money. And what folks do when they roll up here is they just turn down this little road. And if we were in need this morning, we would turn up under this this awning right up here, and they would load us full of food to help us get through the week. You see, you don't have to get out of your vehicle. Sign right there says stay in your vehicle. And Lady's got her checklist up there. Normally you got to be on the checklist, but not always. So here we go. We're going to drop off a bunch of stuff.
Shady Chapel gives stuff like that.
Do they? JP said peanut butter. You told me peanut butter and Vienna sausages and ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles.
They love that. I can't get ramen noodles no more.
Yeah, I know it is. They don't have them on there?
Ramen noodles. Well, we got a lot of them, boy. These go along.
Okay, so that's part one. We're going to jump away. We'll come right back. We'll do part two.